Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. What's up guys, it is Shane Scott back again with another video, and in this video I'll be reviewing the new movie Incredibles 2, the long-awaited sequel that we have all wanted for 14 years. It is finally here, and let me just say before we get started that the wait was worth it. This movie is absolutely great. I loved it a lot. We're just going to go ahead and get started with what I liked about the movie. It picks up right where it left off in The Incredibles 1, so that cliffhanger we got with the Underminer, finally we get to see what happens after that and that whole fight with them. So that was great. I loved that they picked up right where they left off. They didn't give us a time jump, anything like that. The animation in this movie is much better. The fight scenes are amazing. Like there's just a few to name one in particular. There's a scene between Elastigirl and the main villain, and it's absolutely insane. The only thing is there was a little warning for people with like epilepsy because of like flashing lights, stuff like that. But that fight scene where you can tell where the warning would come from during the scene, but that whole scene is, I thought it was super cool, and the fight during that is just awesome as well. I loved that scene a lot, and just a lot of the fight scenes in general are super cool. There's a very very great one with Jack Jack. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but that's another great scene. Um, for Violet's character in this movie, they give her a very interesting story arc, and it was very fun to watch kind of her grow throughout the movie, and I enjoyed that a lot. So Violet got a lot more character development in this movie, which I thought was great. Jack Jack steals the show. He didn't get as much. He didn't get a lot of time in the first movie. He showed up at the end, all that. Found out he's got power, stuff like that, but he's got a lot more screen time in this movie, and he steals every scene that he is in. He was hilarious. His scenes are fun. Jack Jack just a great character. Another good thing about this movie is you get more Frozone in it, which I'm a huge fan of Frozone. So that's like more. I mean, not everyone. I don't think like I don't know, but for me personally, I love that we got a lot more Frozone. So that was great for the movie as well. Another good thing is it isn't a complete rehash of the first movie for the most part. Sometimes you see with these sequels, not just sequels in general. It's just a complete rehash of the first movie with a little bit of trying to do things better and bigger, things like that. And that's pretty much all the movie is. For the most part, this isn't that, except for the one kind of message of not you teaching the kids not to use their powers. Other than that, it's pretty much a new movie, pretty original, and that was very good. So I'm happy about that. Just overall, it's very funny, very enjoyable movie, and I enjoyed it a lot. And it's just great. It's a fun movie. Now going on to a few of my complaints for the movie. The main thing is, well, not the main thing, but one of the things is they introduce a lot of new superheroes in this movie. And I did mention the animation being great for the fight scenes, but the animations or just the character designs in general for these new characters, they're not good. Like they look like Fortnite characters or something. Like they just look bad. I did not like a single look for any of the new superheroes. They looked weird and like I didn't like it. I did not like the design for the new superheroes. That might be my biggest complaint, if anything, because it like threw me off. I was like, these guys look so weird. I don't like the way they look, and it just bothered me a lot because the animation was so great, and then they got these character designs that look super weird and out of place, like they belong in freaking Fortnite. I didn't like that. Another thing is the villain is pretty predictable. You can kind of guess based off the characters and how they interact, things like that, who the villain turns out to be. I ended up calling it very early on in the movie, and it was very easy to notice. So that was kind of a problem for me, but it wasn't too bad. Um, Another thing, Mr. Incredible is an incredibly large douche for about the first hour of the movie, maybe more. Like he sucks. Like he was like the worst for like the first hour of the movie. I was sitting, there, I was like, God, this guy sucks. I hate him. And he gets better. Like he changes, I guess, towards the end of the movie. He gets better, but yeah, like he was just an ass, and I hated that. It made me so mad. Um, Going back to the beginning of the movie, the whole scene with the Underminer. Honestly, after waiting 14 years, the scene did feel a little disappointing. That's not really when you watch the movie, if you haven't already, when you see that scene with the Underminer, it didn't feel like what I thought. When I would always imagine scenarios of what happens after The Incredibles, that was never one of them. So take with that what you will. That could just be me being picky, things like that. But for me, the Underminer scene was a little disappointing after waiting 14 years for that. I think my biggest personal complaint is that Dash was pushed to the back for most of this movie, and Dash is my favorite of the Incredibles, and he was pushed to the very back. Didn't get much of a development in the story. He got screen time, but he wasn't, a how Violet got her own little story arc. Dash didn't really have anything like that. He kind of was just, he was just there, cracking jokes every now and then, which was fun. So he was fun when he was in the scenes, but, didn't get a whole lot of story for him, which upset me a little bit. But, I mean, there's like 5 Incredibles plus some new characters. Not every character is going to get, a new storyline, things like that. So it wasn't a huge deal. And just overall, this isn't really a complaint. It's kind of a good and a bad thing, but the movie is very safe. And it's not, a crazy, big, and all these new changes to The Incredibles and just, I guess, Pixar in general. It's very safe, and it's just a fun sequel, It's nothing too crazy, and it's nothing bad. It's kind of like, if I were to compare it to like a Marvel movie, like maybe something like Ant-Man. Yeah, obviously, it's better than Ant-Man, but it's just fun, it's enjoyable, and there's not a whole lot of bad things, not a whole lot of, I guess, holes that, you notice you're like, okay, that was bad, things like that. The movie's just very sound. It's just nothing like crazy, nothing special, things like that. That makes sense. And just overall, like I was saying, a very fun movie, very satisfying after waiting for 14 years for it. And just very enjoyable. The animations are great, and it's basically just fun to watch The Incredibles do what they do best, and that's be incredible. I'm going to go ahead and rank the movie now. I give this 4.5 doorknobs out of 5 doorknobs. So obviously, very enjoyable movie, very fun. I recommend definitely go seeing this if you have not already. If you are a fan of Pixar, Disney, anything like that, make sure you go check this movie out. Super fun, very enjoyable. And, I really liked it. So yeah, go check it out if you haven't. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys think of Incredibles 2. If you have already seen it, leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe if you are new. That is going to be all. Thank you.